global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. A lot of news are coming in after the burial of the chief of staff of Buhari. I'm talking about Bakari. A lot of news are actually coming in that Aso Rock is totally not safe. A lot of persons have been pinpointed as as carrying the coronavirus, and they are actually not making it open. They're actually keeping it secret, they're keeping it hidden, and it's rather sad though, because if this information happened to be true, because from the information we gathered, it is alleged that a lot of persons actually have coronavirus, and some of the names that are coming in are not even the regular names we have been hearing from the likes of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the likes, but this one is quite fresh, it's quite different, and I don't know how true it is, but eventually we'll tell you how we got this information. Before the video runs, I will tell you the information, how we got the information. It is actually assumed that the daughter of Mammah and Daura, I'm talking about Fatimah, the young lady that did a video some time back of Aisha Buhari when she was shouting in Aso Rock some months back. You know, it's actually alleged that Fatimah Mammah Daura is actually tested positive to coronavirus. Yes, it said tested positive to coronavirus. The husband, who happens to be the aide to the late chief of staff, I'm talking about Bakari, the late chief of staff Bakari himself, is also positive, and her sister-in-law, which is also the brother's sister, also tested positive. The circle keeps going on and all that. You know, the challenge you have with the government of the day is the fact that transparency is a big minus for them, as in they are not transparent, they are not honest, and all that. If not, like, what does it take? If the likes of Boris Johnson could open up and say, look, I'm positive and all that, you know, it's not yes, it's a killer disease, but then it's not a sin, really. Why not be transparent to Nigerians for once? But then well, the information reaching us is that these guys are positive, as in Fatimah Mammah Daura, the husband, her sister-in-law, all tested positive. And Fatimah, according to the sources, said who happens to be Mammah's, who is the daughter of Buhari's nephew, that's Mammah Daura, was infected by her husband, who works in the office of the late chief of staff, Bakari. That's how she got her infection. How she got infested was the fact that the husband infected her, and the husband was infected by the late Bakari. So the line, the chain keeps growing. It keeps having the trickle effect. Fatimah lives in Aso Rock with her family. Sources hinted that the daughter of the head of Buhari's cabal have been keeping her condition under wraps and not in isolation. She's not in self-isolation, and she has been hiding her condition. The sources, who want to remain anonymous, said more persons in Aso Rock have been infected by the virus, but have decided to keep it under wraps while self-medicating. President Muhammad Buhari has also barred a lot of persons in his top aides who attended the burial of Bakari from entering the presidential villa. Those affected by this presidential order includes the State House Chief Protocol Officer, Lawa Kazura, the Special Assistant to the President, Yusuf Sabio, a nephew to the President, Musa Daura, and Mr. Shehu himself. Well, wow, this is really strong. It said others also includes the National Security Advisor, Babagana Mongono, the Director General of National Intelligence Agency, Ahmed Rufai, and the Personal Assistant on News Media to President Buhari, Bashar Ahmed, among several more persons. And this is really strong, because the way this whole thing is going, I just hope that there will still be survivors in Aso Rock by the time this whole coronavirus is done. But then we are actually looking at this. If at the very beginning, when later Bakari discovered that he was positive, he would have not just self-quarantined. but it would have probably done one. But then it would have been, I'm just looking at it, it would have been difficult really for the aid not to have been infested, because the truth is he works directly under Abba Kyari, so there was probably no way he would have avoided it. But this is strong. But before we go into the whole analysis proper, we'd like to have a feel of what Nigerians are saying. I just have an idea what Nigerians really say. It looks like there's happiness in the air, but I really don't buy the idea of people rejoicing over anyone's death. Look, death has no respect really. But let's see what Nigerians say. Let's hear and feel the pulse of Nigerians over this news that just emerged from Aso Rock. This one here said, thank God for this coronavirus. It is really doing washing and cleansing in Nizoria, as Aso Rock Villa. It's making way for Biafra thanks to Chukwu Okike Biama. This must be a Biafran really talking. This one here says, the river will only eat the person it sees, his or her. So kudos to come close, Koro, cause they said Aso Rock is only for their family members and for northerners. They have been enjoying Nigerian money anyhow, so they should also enjoy coronavirus anyhow too. Now their papa dashed them, so they shouldn't blame anyone but their greed. So I said, this virus is trending at Aso Rock Villa. Kai, the virus get better taste too. This is hilarious. As in, the virus has better taste, she is going to the big boys. Okay, let's continue. So I said, let every good thing in Aso Rock and the bad be unto them that are in there. This one is strong. This one here is saying, Corona cleanser is still going around Aso Villa. More of them will go the way of Abba Kyari. That's actually my fear. Much as the Bible says the people rejoice when the righteous rule and all that, but look, we are looking at just Aso Rock. Let's be very practical with this whole issue. We are actually getting it. Yeah, well, while we get excited, let's also be careful. Now, imagine the information reaching us here that Fatimah Daura is keeping her condition under wraps. Okay, that means she doesn't want to make it public. Very few persons know she tested positive coronavirus. Now she's got friends, right? She parties, right? She visits friends, right? She makes her hair. She have probably friends in high places. Probably she goes to visit, go for club, or maybe she goes to club, maybe she plays golf or whatever game she's comfortable with. She maybe has some nighttime, me time with her friends, girls time out and all that. All these persons are not living in Aso Rock. Okay, maybe she go visiting friends. Maybe she has even nephews, nieces, she got cousins. And they will definitely, when they see her, they'll definitely greet her, probably hug her, and do all whatever it is they're used to doing. Now she's positive. She may allegedly positive now. Okay, she may likely infect it to other persons. Now you're saying thank God is Aso Rock Villa. What if her hairdresser is somebody close to somebody that knows someone that knows your mother, or somebody that knows your sister, and there's a trickle down effect? I always do not get excited really when I hear things that are contagious is gradually spreading, because the truth is that thing has no respect. It doesn't show immediately. The symptoms don't show immediately. So which means you could actually be interacting with an infectious person, not knowing. And imagine the husband, I'm talking about Fatimah's husband, talking to Abba Kyari at that early stage with social distancing and with face masks and hand gloves. It looks odd, doesn't it? It looks very different. That's the same person you've been answering the yes sir to probably few hours before he came back to from his trip to Egypt and Germany before he died, only for you to realize that he's positive after some hours, and you've actually probably told him welcome, you've chatted, you've ate together, you've done all manner of things, you've compromised your health status, only for you to discover that he's positive. It doesn't take anything to be infectious, it doesn't take anything to even get infected. While Nigerians are rejoicing, I would say we should still stay safe. But this information, we got it from Jackson O'Day. Jackson O'Day happened to be one of the aide that worked with the former president of Nigeria. I'm talking of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Jackson Ode has been, definitely doing all he can to expose whatever he can in this dispensation, and he's not hiding his, profile at all. He said that the sources he got from Aso Rock, sources Jackson Ode got from Aso Rock, is proof they actually wanted this information to be anonymous, as in you can say it but don't mention my name. So they practically went on his media page. I'm talking about his blog, that's Point Blank News, and made it public, really. So it's not a hidden fact. So he went to his website, Point Blank News, and told Nigerians who care to visit that Aso Rock is bleeding, and a lot of persons are infested. In fact, a whole lot of persons that Nigerians will be shocked are infested. And he mentioned Mammah Daura's daughter, he mentioned the husband, he mentioned the sister-in-law, that's the husband's sister, and many others. These are the ones that are already been found, though they're hiding their status. And the likes of Shehu, Garba, and the rest have been barred from entering the villa because they attended Abakari's funeral. But then I feel that of Shehu is a bit unique. I'll explain. The last video, the first video we did about Abakari coming back after he confessed that he has gone for test and has found positive. I could still remember that Abakari visited the Kogi governor. He visited Kogi governor alongside Shehu Garba. And though they were all trying to deny it, but the pictures were glaring. They shook hands, they shook hands. They greeted. Shehu Garba was the Nigerians insisted that Shehu Garba go for testing, of which he didn't say a yes or a no. He said thank God for his status. He never mentioned a yes. He never mentioned a no. He never mentioned that he was positive. Neither did he mention that he was negative. And now all of a sudden the presidency is barring him from entering Aso Villa. Some are allegedly saying it's probably because he attended Bakari's burial rite. But then I think for his own, it has gone beyond that before now. But then, like one will rightly say, time will tell. No matter how, now there's really no cure right now, so depends on how the immune system will fight it. But then this is strictly Point Blank getting us information on this, and for verification you can always visit his site. He will explain better. But then that's how much you can take. I don't know how true this is. If this allegation is true, then Aso Rock is truly in trouble. But then they've not, like always, they will not, Aso Rock will not always, the presidency will not always, the government of the day will not always come and address Nigerians and say this and this is positive. They will always keep it within wraps. Somehow, it's probably one or two ways the bloggers have a way of getting the information leaked out. But then, let's see what rolls up. What do you think about the fact that Mammah Daura's daughter, that's Fatimah, the Mammah Daura's son-in-law, that's the husband, that's the aide to the late Abakari, is also positive with his sister. Who knows how many more others are actually positive? What do you think about this serious health situation going on in Aso Rock? With this health situation going on in Aso Rock, would you honestly think that the presidency will be in the right frame of mind to rule this country the way it ought to be, with all manner of sickness flying here and there? If this is true, I do not think the presidency will be able to concentrate really to run the affairs of Nigeria, because these are issues that should be looked into, and there are national issues that should cause Nigerians cause for worry, cause for concern. With so many issues going on here and there, Lagos State is almost under siege with insecurity biting really hard. The 1 million boys not having having it smooth, and the young guys coming out now to become vigilante in their community, and now ask the question, where is Amotekun and all that? So many issues, so many national issues springing up at the same time, and coronavirus ravaging Aso Rock as alleged by Jackson Ode. This becomes a source of worry for Nigerians. is there hope in the line? Is there any plan at all by the federal government of this dispensation to navigate Nigeria and Nigerians out of this pandemic of both hunger, insecurity, coronavirus, and poverty? I don't know how we're going to navigate this, but time will tell. Let's go to a comment section. What do you think about this whole thing ravaging Nigeria, as Aso Rock is also not spared, as alleged? Let's interact in our comment section. Have a nice time. Don't also forget to like, share videos.